This is a total outrageous overreach of law. It is a violation of the fundamental right of the BJP State Secretary SG Suryah. Rahul Gandhi travels all over the world and says democracy is in danger. Democracy is in danger. And it is Rahul Gandhi's Congress during the 10 years of UPA that pioneered this practice of putting people in jail for whatever they said on the internet. And now his ally, Stalin, as if to prove that his namesake, the Russian dictator Stalin, and him are the same, he is putting people like SG Suryah into jail. The party will strongly support Suryah. We will fight for his liberty. I find that this is a total outrageous overreach of law. It is a violation of the fundamental right of the BJP State Secretary SG Suryah, that for a tweet where he was tweeting to support a scheduled caste sanitation worker, a sanitation worker from the scheduled community, that he would be hauled up and put into jail by the regime of Mr. M.K. Stalin in Tamil Nadu. And this is, first of all, it is so wrong. It is such an overreach of law. It is against the principles of natural justice that somebody would be put in jail just for a tweet. And it is ironical because Rahul Gandhi's ally, who Mr. Stalin is, Rahul Gandhi travels all over the world and says democracy is in danger. Democracy is in danger. And it is Rahul Gandhi's Congress during the 10 years of UPA that pioneered this practice of putting people in jail for whatever they said on the internet, misusing Section 66A. And now his ally, Stalin, as if to prove that his namesake, the Russian dictator Stalin, and him are the same, he is putting people like SG Suryah into jail. So, first of all, the party will strongly support Suryah. We will fight for his liberty, and he will be certainly prevail. But it is a time for the people of India to see the hypocrisy, the deep hypocrisy of Rahul Gandhi, his allied parties like the DMK, who profess to support freedom of speech and talk about democracy being in danger, but do exactly the opposite when their political misdeeds are being exposed. So this is a time for those so-called free speech activists not to be silent and to come out in support of SG Suryah's right to free expression, freedom of expression under Article 19 of the Constitution.
So what about your views on the Congress questioning of the renamed Nehru's Memorial Library?
Look, I think it is only the Congress party, and it is only, not even the Congress party, it is only some cronies in the Congress that believe that there has been no other Prime Minister in India other than Jawaharlal Nehru. They have propagated this myth through many years, saying that Nehru was the only Prime Minister. They have airbrushed Lal Bahadur Shastri out of the history books. They airbrushed Subhash Chandra Bose out of the freedom struggle. They airbrushed all of these other Prime Ministers, Morarji Desai, so many different Prime Ministers during the course of our history of our country. Chandrasekhar, Inder Kumar Gujral, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, to constantly make people believe that the only one Prime Minister that was ever relevant in the history of modern India was Nehru. This is a simple renaming of a Prime Ministerial library from the Nehru Memorial Library to a Prime Ministerial library. And I think this is absolutely appropriate, that every Indian today must learn about, read about, and have access to the history of all of our Prime Ministers who have served our nation, whether they were part of a dynasty or not part of a dynasty. For the Congress, unless you are part of this Gandhi-Nehru dynasty, you are irrelevant in the history books of India. And we beg to, and most people in India beg to differ. We think anybody who has served India with dignity and with commitment should be showcased, not just in the Prime Minister's Memorial, which is for Prime Ministers, but all across the country as we learn our history and as we make history.
So what about the reaction of the M.K. Stalin Ministry keeping up Seetal Balaji on the Minister of...
No, what can we expect from a party like M.K. Stalin, who's there simply because he's a son of Karnanidhi? He certainly is a dynast party. We know very clearly from the tapes and the exposes of their former finance minister that their party and their dynasty is engaged in deep high levels of corruption, and therefore when a minister in their party who used to be accused of corruption by Stalin himself in the past is now embroiled in a Supreme Court directed investigation on corruption, what else do we expect Stalin to do but to retain him, to protect him? They have gone to the hospital to protect him. They have come out in support of a Supreme Court directed investigation into a Prevention of Corruption Act violation by a public servant. There is nothing more open and shut than a Prevention of Corruption violation by a public servant who takes an oath under the Constitution to serve the people and to follow the law. And Senthil Balaji is clearly under investigation by the ED under the diktats and the direction of the Supreme Court for a corruption case, and MK Stalin is doing what is expected of him, to go protect the cronies of the dynasty who are engaged in corruption.